Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and this is my review of the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus Bluetooth speaker with 30 watt audio, extended bass and treble, wireless hi-fi, portable speaker with an app. You get customizable EQ, 12 hours of playback time, IPX7 waterproof rating, and a USB Type-C charging port. It's a miracle. USB Type-C ports are coming, and I am very excited. I was excited about this product to review, actually. It's hefty for its size, like you see it. You get a mental idea, you pick it up, and then your mind gets blown out of the back of your head because it's just this supreme build quality. There isn't an inch of space that's not dedicated to something in this thing, and it feels like that, okay? I've been using this for 2 weeks straight. I've been carrying it everywhere I go, so the cool thing to pay attention to in this video and this whole process is the handling of this and what it looks like and what it will look like on a continuous basis when you own it and handle it, because I haven't really cleaned it at all, because I thought it was important to see the no fingerprint kind of thing, a little oils here and there, maybe a little dirt here and there. I've had it in the garage, I've had it outdoors, I've had it in different places to where it should pick up more than it has on the debris side of town and stuff on it. So that is very cool. You'll notice the branding on the front. The grill looks fantastic. The speaker array is great. There is 5 speakers in this thing. So that is very cool that they've packed this into this. And for the price as well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Soundcore and Anker products, period. And the progression of Soundcore is relentless. It just keeps getting better every single year, and I'm a big fan of that. But I wiped all that clean for this. I knew this was coming in, and I was like, wipe clean. First time ever holding a Soundcore speaker in my mind mentally. And I thought, whoa, they've nailed it. If you look on the side, you get that waterproof port there right below the power button, and it is thick and goes in there really good and seals really well. This is one of the better that I've ever experienced on sealing, waterproofing a port, an auxiliary port. The USB Type-C and aux is there, so it does a fantastic job. There's a little gasket in there that's around that door that goes in there, so it does a good job of sealing. And yeah, there's not a lot to expose itself to the outer elements. You get the power button there. When you press that guy, you'll see that it will illuminate and connect right away to my phone. So it does a great job of doing that every single time. Never had a hiccup in that department. You get bass boost right across the top here. You can push that and it goes into that EQ automatically. Up and down, Bluetooth mode over here. And you get to push this little button here and pair this up with another Motion Plus speaker. So that alone is fantastic too, because no matter your room size, your outdoor situation, so you can have one of these inside, and I think this will fill a large room if you place this correctly. If you place this like in a corner, so many inches away from the wall. I've always preached on speaker placement is half the battle. Like, you can't just grab this cool speaker, set it somewhere, and expect it to do the work for you. You can utilize your surroundings and actually improve speaker quality and sound by using deflection, reflection, and all this kind of stuff. Let it climb up the walls and go over the ceiling. I mean, there's different things that you can play with. There's a speaker position in your home that is begging for a speaker to put it in, because it's a prime spot. In every single home, it's that situation. So explore, find that, put something there, walk around the room, and you're like, yeah, this envelops the entire place, and you know, is exactly the biggest bang for the buck as far as speaker placement. But speaker placement's pretty cool with this one too, because it actually angles the speakers back a little bit to the listener, so you can put this down on a coffee table, on an entertainment center, anywhere you want to at a lower level, and you'll be okay too. But you can also put it up on a fireplace mount or something like that, as long as you're utilizing that speaker placement and that projection correctly. It's a win-win. Like we talked about, you get USB Type-C connectivity, you get the Soundcore brand name, which to me says a lot and carries a lot of weight now. It used to not be that way, but I think the reputation of Soundcore has really gained momentum, and that brand alone, you just kind of know that it's durable and it's extremely well built, and that is the case with this Motion Plus. You get high fidelity sound, you get the aptX codec in here, so if you have an aptX phone that will send that codec to it, it will receive it, and the audio sounds fantastic through Bluetooth. Those codecs are the key for Bluetooth to sound great, because if you're not doing Wi-Fi direct streaming, you gotta have those codecs to push a Bluetooth to get a true I guess disc-like sound if we're going to go old school with it. But that is the case with this one. It sounds fantastic. There's no lag, so when you watch a video and there's no sync issues between the audio and video, so that is a plus. You get the bass up technology on here that you can push. That is there. You get the active crossover, basically with like passive audio speakers. Motion Plus has engineered an active crossover for boosted accuracy. So active versus passive is fantastic. That's actually powered. Some passive things can be deceptive, and by passive I mean like a speaker that really isn't powered. Like you have some passive subwoofers, and basically all they're there for is to use what the other speakers are pushing and pulling in and produce a little bit of woofer sound and bass, but it's passive, it's not active, it's not actively working those subwoofers, so if that makes any sense whatsoever. So now let's take a look at the application that comes free with it, of course, and I've turned it on, it's automatically connected, and now I've gone into the Soundcore app itself. It finds the Motion Plus and goes direct to that speaker, which is fantastic, but they have a whole array of speakers that will work with the app, and you can flip through that before you connect to this and see them on the app. But just know, whenever you connect this speaker up, you open the app, you're automatically connected to this speaker in the app and through Bluetooth as well, so that's fantastic. But anyway, you get these wave equalizers in here, and these are just presets through here. So we have voice, bass off, voice, heavy, classic, original, and custom. So that, I think this is fantastic. I think every single speaker, high-end speaker, and I consider this actual high-end speaker even though it doesn't carry that high-end price. Every company should offer a way to customize the EQ, because you can get so much out of this speaker, because then you can hone that for where you have it placed in your home and get the biggest bang for your buck. And it should be simple for them to do, but you know, some people don't do it, whatever. Soundcore does it, and I totally respect that, because you can play with all these custom settings. Don't freak out, because then they offer presets. So normally I just keep it on original, because I actually like a flat sound. The bass isn't extremely boomy or anything. It's a flattish kind of bass to me, even with the bass boost on, but that flat sound really gives you the ability to pull out a bigger sound stage to me, and you get this separation within the music, and it sounds great. You really put all these speaker arrays to work whenever you flatten it out a little bit. To me, I'm in this position in my life. It used to be where it was like, bring the bass, let the bass rain down. The older I get, the more I've done product reviews, and the more I respect speaker qualities and stuff like that. When I flatten it out a little bit and create this neutral, natural sound, then you can experience what the manufacturer intended with devices. So once you get that structured in your brain and use your head correctly in that sphere of sound, you really do appreciate higher end things, and I appreciate this. So now we go back to the home screen of the Motion Plus within the Soundcore app. We can see the EQ that we have selected there in the middle. We have volume control, which is really nice. Play, pause, and power off. You can hit these three little buttons here. You can actually check for an update, a firmware update, which is really nice. You can disconnect this if you wanted to. You can adjust the auto power off, standby mode kind of thing, which is nice. So you actually get a lot of control, and if you wanted to, you could go out, say you had multiple devices that you're using and not just the Motion Plus. You can go out to the home screen and you can sift through all the speakers. Plus, this gives you an opportunity to check every once in a while to see if there's anything that's new out within the Soundcore ecosystem. fantastic app. It just works. It's simplistic. It doesn't have to be overly complicated like some of the past apps I've used. So that's great. And I am praising this device because I like the device. I like the company. I like the customer service that you get if you have any issues. Fantastic warranty and customer service that comes along with this. You get nice grips under the bottom. This doesn't really go anywhere whatsoever. It slides a little bit, but my goodness, this thing will never move based off the music alone on a nice foundation. It's got a nice rubbery grip on the bottom. So, with all this said, how does it sound? Let's test it out. All right, let's start this jam session out at 50%. Let's go up to 75%. Let's go up to 100%. Hit the bass boost. A little bit of kick and bass in there. It's not bad. Okay, that song was level up, and it leveled up at some points, but whoop. Let's change that genre a little bit. The song is called Dragonfly 50%. Turn the bass off. 50%. What you get to hear the highs and the lows. Mid-range, distinctively placed. It's not muddled together at 50%. Let's see if we can muddle this sound out and where it's going to muddle at, because this is a good song to do this with. Let's go up to 75%. Keeping everything separate. Those 5 speakers, man, it's just keeping a separation. 75%. Go up to 100%. Bass boost. Woo-hoo! Sounds good, man. Woo! That sounds good. And one thing to note, I think this is a good 2 songs right there picked with the highs, lows mixed in to try to mumble this together to kind of mesh, because a lot of times when you push a speaker to its max, that was 100%. I think they got 100% nailed down. If it would have gone 2 clicks over, you might have started to notice some distortion and stuff like that. When I first got the speaker, raised it up, I didn't want to push it too far because there's a break-in period. I have that break-in period, so I've probably played this well over 40 hours across 2 weeks. So yes, a few recharges exist, and I'd say as much as I listen to music, you know, it's mixed bag with me on the lower volume side, mixed with very rarely maxed out because I wanted to get the hours break-in time in before I did anything like that with it. So I felt like I reached a break-in point, pushing it to 100%. The distortion or anything like that isn't there, but like 2 more volumes higher and it would be there. So I think they've nailed down where their 100% should be volume wise with this speaker, which is fantastic. But you'll get, I don't know, you get pretty close to exactly what they claim on battery life, which is impressive. A lot of them are based on 50%, based on 30% volume, you get 12 hours or whatever. But no, I mean, you really can push this and actually come close to what they say, which is great. So bass off there. And yeah, as far as sound and stuff like that goes, you maintain a sense of separation amongst the music from the highs, the lows, and the mids. I don't have a problem with it. The grill, everything about it's well made, nothing rattles. It feels extremely solid. Very nice bang for the buck. And a lot of those highs happen from the 40 kilohertz ultra high frequency tweeters. Those two guys are rocking some of those highs and helping with that separation, that 15-degree tilt. They've nailed that. The highs are in there, and whenever it hits that high, you just want to turn to somebody and go, woo! I mean, I did it, and I'm by myself. This can handle the lows on the 50 hertz side of town and get those ultra highs at 40 kilohertz like we said. So that allows for this whole spectrum of separation and a nice melting pot of goodness that you can distinctively hear. All these little notes, all these little hi-hats and stuff within this. And you know, their own engineers, they're not slapping things onto the side of their products saying that we're certified in this and this. A long time ago, I thought maybe that was needed, but I think the engineers have really stepped and pushed themselves up. I don't know what their hiring process is or the education on the engineers side of it, but it gets better every year. So the hat goes off to Soundcore for the constant improvement. You get the two tweeters, the neodymium woofers, the two of those, and you get a passive radiator in here, you know, right there in the front, right there at the back, radiator. To fill the corners of the room, and that's, you got an exhaust port out the back here, and that's by design. That's that technique where you can use the wall to your benefit and place this correctly, place this in a corner or whatever of your room, figure it out, and you can use this. They allow you the tools to get the best possible sound out of this thing in your house, in your living room, and fill it completely with music. So kudos to the engineers for designing this IPX7 feels bulletproof Bluetooth speaker. So for the money, yeah, it's worth the money, no doubt about it. So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that bell so you get notified on the next product like this that I have to review.